You're walking in the woods at dusk. You hear a sharp crackle in the underbrush. Do you stop? Do you assume it was just the wind or a falling branch? Or does a jolt of adrenaline hit you as your mind instantly leaps to a conclusion? Something is in there. Who is watching you? You're looking up at the clouds, and you see it. Not just a random formation of water vapor, but a face, an animal, a hand. You hear a strange creak in your house at 3 a.m. Your logical brain says the house is settling. But your gut instinct screams, someone is here. This is the human condition. We are relentless, obsessive, and incurable pattern seekers. We are hardwired to see agency, intention, and purpose all around us. And in a world that is increasingly secular, where science has provided explanations for the weather, for the origins of life, and for the mechanics of the cosmos, one phenomenon persists with incredible stubbornness: religious belief. Why, in an age of reason, do the vast majority of human beings on this planet still believe in some form of invisible, supernatural agent? Is it just a leftover cultural habit? Is it a comforting story we tell ourselves in the face of death, or is it something deeper? What if the human brain itself, its very architecture, its evolutionary quirks has been primed for belief? What if our minds aren't blank slates, but are, in fact, predisposed to find God? Today, we are exploring one of the most fascinating and challenging new fields of science, the cognitive science of religion. We are looking for the God-shaped hole and asking, is our belief in God a product of divine design, or is it just a bug in our software? Before we begin, we must be absolutely clear about what this field of science, the cognitive science of religion, or CSR, is, and what it is not. CSR is not a debate about whether God exists. It is not theology or philosophy. It cannot prove or disprove the existence of any deity. Instead, CSR is a branch of psychology, anthropology, and evolutionary biology that asks a different and perhaps more practical question: why is religious belief so common, so natural, and so easy for human minds to accept? The answer, these scientists propose, is that our brains are not wired for God. Rather, our belief in God is a byproduct of fascinating and powerful side effect of a set of everyday, non-religious cognitive tools that we all use all the time, just to survive. Let's break down those tools. The first one is the reason you jumped when you heard that noise in the woods. This first tool is known as the Hyperactive Agency Detection Device, or HADD. That's a very fancy name for a very simple concept. Our brains are hardwired to assume that intent or agency is behind any unexplained event. Think about our evolutionary ancestors on the savannah. Two of them hear a rustle in the tall grass. The first one, a skeptic, thinks, it's probably just the wind. The second one, a believer, thinks it's a lion. Now, 99 times out of 100, the skeptic is right. It was just the wind. But that one time it is a lion, the skeptic gets eaten. The paranoid believer, who ran away every single time, survives to pass on their genes. We are the descendants of the paranoid believer. We have evolved with a better safe than sorry cognitive bias. Our brains are not programmed for accuracy. They are programmed for survival. We are spring-loaded to make what's called a type 1 error, a false positive. We see agency everywhere because it's less costly to be wrong and paranoid than to be right and dead. So what does this have to do with religion? Everything. This same hyperactive agency detection is what makes us look at a bolt of lightning and think, who threw that? It's what makes us look at a failed harvest and ask, who did we anger? It's what makes us feel that a sudden gust of wind is not just an atmospheric pressure change, but a presence. Our HADD is constantly firing, detecting agency all around us. This cognitive tool, designed for spotting predators, is the fertile soil for believing in invisible agents, spirits, ghosts, ancestors, and ultimately gods. But it's not enough to just detect an agent. Our brains immediately take the next step. This is our second cognitive tool, theory of mind. Theory of mind is our ability to understand that other beings have minds, intentions, beliefs, and desires that are different from our own. It's how you know that when your friend is frowning, they are probably sad. It's the foundation of all human social interaction, empathy, and cooperation, and just like had, we overapply it. We use it on everything. This is called anthropomorphism. We talk to our pets as if they understand our complex emotions. We yell at our laptop as if it's intentionally trying to frustrate us. We say the sky is angry or the stock market is nervous. So when our head detects an invisible agent, the river is alive. Our theory of mind immediately kicks in and asks, what does it want? This is the cognitive origin of prayer, ritual, and sacrifice. We are instinctively trying to have a social relationship with the agents our brain has detected. What does the river god want from me? He must want an offering. What does the sun god want? He must want praise. We are social creatures who have populated our entire cosmos with invisible, social beings, and we are trying to manage those relationships just as we would with other humans. There is a third powerful bias that forms the foundation for almost all religious belief about the afterlife, intuitive dualism. Ask yourself this, are you your body, or do you have a body? Most of us, without even thinking about it, talk and feel as if our self, our mind, our consciousness, our soul is a separate thing that inhabits our physical body. We say, my body is tired, as if it's a vehicle we are driving. Cognitive scientists believe this dualism, this separation of mind and body, is an intuitive, default setting for the human brain. We experience our own consciousness as something different from our flesh and bone. And the implications of this are profound. If the mind is separate from the body, it is a very, very small cognitive leap to believe that the mind can survive the death of the body. This gut feeling is the universal, cognitive foundation for virtually all belief in an afterlife. It's the origin of ghosts, of ancestral spirits, of reincarnation, and of the soul's journey to heaven or hell. It's not a complex theological doctrine we have to be taught. It's a common sense intuition that our brain provides us with for free. So we have a brain that is hardwired to see agency behind events had, to give those agents human-like minds theory of mind, and to believe that our own minds can exist without our body's dualism. These cognitive tools, working in concert, create what you might call a cognitive niche, a perfect, empty space in our minds that religious ideas just so happen to fit into perfectly. This is the God-shaped hole. It is not a literal hole. It is the result of our standard cognitive wiring. From this perspective, religion is a byproduct of our evolution. It's an inevitable and natural result of having a big social, pattern-seeking brain. We don't have to learn to be religious. We have to be actively taught to be skeptical. This is why religious ideas like a talking animal, an all-knowing God, an invisible spirit, a man who walks on water are so sticky. They are what scientists call minimally counterintuitive. They are mostly normal: a man, a bush, a spirit, but with one or two fascinating violations of our intuitive physics or biology. He walks on water. It talks. It's invisible. Our brains are uniquely adapted to remember and transmit these kinds of stories, which helps religions to spread and survive across cultures. So this science provides a powerful, compelling, and purely naturalistic explanation for why religion is, and always has been, a fundamental part of the human experience. And this brings us to the final and most important debate. What does this all mean? If science can explain the mechanics of why we believe, what does that say about the truth of those beliefs? This is where the battle lines are drawn. On one side, a skeptic or an atheist, like the cognitive scientist Daniel Dennett, would look at this evidence and say, case closed. This proves it. God is a cognitive illusion. He is a ghost in our evolutionary machine, a persistent artifact of a brain that evolved to spot predators in the grass. We are just seeing faces in the clouds, and we've built cathedrals to them. But on the other side, a believer or a theologian, like the Christian philosopher Alvin Plantinga, would look at the exact same evidence and come to the exact opposite conclusion. They would say, of course, this is the blueprint. If a loving God did exist and wanted to be known by His creation, He wouldn't create us as blind, deaf, atheistic robots. He would, as part of His design, build into our very minds the cognitive tools to be able to perceive Him. From this view, the God-shaped hole is not a bug in the software, it's the target on the motherboard. The head isn't just seeing predators, it's the antenna God gave us to sense His presence. The theory of mind isn't just for socializing. It's the tool that allows us to have a relationship with Him. So, the science of why we believe doesn't and can't settle the question of whether we should believe. And that is the question I leave for you. What do you make of this? Does this scientific explanation of belief strengthen or weaken its authority in your eyes? Is this God-shaped hole a blueprint for the divine, placed there by a creator? Or is it a cognitive illusion, a beautiful and persistent ghost in our evolutionary machine? Let me know your thoughts, respectfully, in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into the science of our beliefs fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores the intersection of faith, history, and the human mind. Thanks for watching.